Hi. Today I will be talking about the grief and loss assignment we have due. I'm gonna be talking about my great grandma. I called her Momo, and she died of cancer, but I really don't know what kind of cancer it was. I know it spread pretty quickly because she was a perfectly healthy woman before any of that happened. And one day my aunt just took her to the hospital, and I was wondering why I didn't see my great grandma for a few days. I saw her every day. I was 9 years old, and she died at the age of 80. Um, sorry. Sorry. This loss caused me to grief because she was my great grandma. She raised me practically when I was a newborn. She always had my favorite bottle, and she knew that I always needed her for anything. I lived with her for about in Houston for about till I was five, I guess 5, 6, 7, if I that's how I can remember. She died of cancer. I cried so much when she died, and my aunt told me it was a rainy day, very rainy, thunderstorms everywhere. My aunt picked me and my sister up, and I was wondering where have you been for a few days, where's Momo? And my aunt told me that she died. And when she told me that, I cried so much. I screamed, Momo, why would you leave me? And it was very very emotional. Thinking about it makes me want to cry, because I didn't want to lose my great grandma. I mean, she was like a superhero, superwoman to me. She could do anything. And I was scared, to lose my grandma. And now I'll be talking about how the grief impacted me, my family, and stuff like that. I felt like I was lost. I felt like I couldn't think straight. I was mad. I told her, why would you leave me like that? Why would you leave me when I needed you the most? She loved me so much. I wasn't talking to anybody for a few days after the funeral. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to eat. I know I was 9 years old, but you understand how a death can affect a little child who is very close to her great grandma. My aunt and my grandpa were pretty sad about it too. A few days after the funeral and everything, people were talking about my great grandma. Some were positive, some were negative. And I was there all the time when they would talk about her. And I would be so upset when they talked about her bad stuff. Like, I'd be like, don't say that about my great grandma. She was everything to me. You don't know her. You don't, stuff like that. And I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to go to school. I was very, very sad. I was very emotional. I couldn't think. I couldn't sleep or anything. It still affects me in a way, how the grief is right now. I'm pretty normal about the grief right now. I feel like she's in a safe place now. She's in heaven looking down on me, but I just wish she would have seen me in college, see me graduate high school, gonna see me graduate college. And my relationship with grief right now is pretty normal. It's pretty okay. Sometimes when they talk about her, I get very how can I put it, very sorry. I feel like I've succeeded in the grief process, actually. Just thinking about it right now, I would have been years ago. I would have been crying thinking about her. Thinking about my grandma passing away. I would have been crying and screaming, why, grandma, why'd you leave me like that? And now, since I'm older, I understand how grief can affect a person. The types of grief I was experiencing was disbelief, confusion and sadness. My grief and my loss of her comes back sometimes. I have dreams about her sometimes. I think that maybe she'll come back one day. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like she'll come back one day and see how great I'm doing and stuff like that. What I've what's different about myself from the grieving process is that I was little. I was 9 years old. Matter of fact, I wouldn't. 9 years old don't handle grief well. We are little babies. We still don't know why they would leave our grandmas or our parents or anybody who passes away would leave us like that. I have her pictures. I have her picture on my vanity, and I always kiss it before I go to bed. And I start crying because, you know, a grandma means everything to you, especially a great grandma who's raised you since you were a baby, who knows you, who's changed your diapers. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm thinking about my grief or my loss about her, I get lonely. I get very lonely about her not being here. It's very, I'm very conflicted. I don't know how to put it. When she passed away, it was pretty traumatic. It was very dramatic. I can say, you know, crying, screaming, momo why, you know, you would see that in the movies, you know. Sorry. The type of grief, sorry, I think I already said that. Sorry. Sorry, I'm just thinking about my grandma. I figure how I discovered my grief, like how I handle it, was think about her and how much she would have wanted me to be happy and not grieve about her passing away. I know how much she loved me. I was just very sad and mad about her leaving me like that without telling me. I mean, I was 9, you know. She left without telling me. And I just sometimes I wish she would have been like, Mija, I'm sick. I'm gonna be going soon. But I don't think she saw it either. I mean, who sees death coming? Nobody. You know? Sorry. I still cry sometimes about her leaving me. I sometimes wish she would come through the door and see me and be like, "Oh, Mija, you look great. Now you're out of diapers, you're doing great. I see you from heaven, and I love you so much and the woman you've become." Losing my great grandma was the worst experience of my life. It was I couldn't fathom her leaving. I know I keep saying leaving so much that she left, but her leaving was just the biggest. It hurt my heart when she left. It still does. I talk about her all the time with my aunt. You know, that was her mom. You know, this woman practically did raise me to the woman I am now. I knew she would be proud of me. Now I can understand how I can control my grief. I can do it on my own. A few years ago, I couldn't handle it on my own. I went through a deep depression phase when I was about 18, 19. I was going through a lot. I just wish my great grandma was there to see me and help me and talk to me about everything. And I just wish she could have been there. But now I know she's looking down on me right now, telling me she loves me and she knows I'm gonna be great. I know she's fine now. She's healthy. She's not hurting. Thank you.